Humanity has always been fascinated by questions about our existence. Where do we come from? What is our purpose? While various religious, philosophical, and scientific perspectives attempt to address these questions, Buddhism offers a unique and profound lens. Unlike speculative theories, the Buddha focused on experiential wisdom, emphasizing the alleviation of suffering and the path to liberation. Chapter 1: The Universe According to Buddhism. Beginningless time, a concept beyond limitation. In Buddhist cosmology, the concept of time as beginningless and endless challenges the linear perception of time common in many philosophical and religious traditions. Time is seen as having no starting point and no creation from nothingness, but is understood as an infinite flow, cycling through vast eras called kalpas. A kalpa is not merely a measure of time, but a symbolic representation of the cyclic nature of existence, emphasizing the immeasurable and elusive reality. The Anecdotes Sutta describes the cycle of rebirth as having no discernible beginning, illustrating that searching for an origin point is unnecessary from a Buddhist perspective. This teaching encourages people to abandon attachment to speculative inquiries about beginnings and endings, focusing instead on understanding and liberating themselves from present suffering. The metaphor of a mountain worn down by a silk cloth brushing against it once every 100 years vividly demonstrates the incomprehensibly long span of a kalpa. Time, in this sense, becomes not just an abstract concept, but a foundation for understanding the impermanence of the world. This understanding also holds profound practical implications. It encourages us to transcend a finite view of time, one that often traps individuals in fear of endings, and move toward a deeper recognition of the cyclic and selfless nature of all phenomena. Cycles of universal evolution, endless rhythms of creation. The Agana Sutta expands on the notion of beginningless time by describing the transformation of the universe through endless cycles of expansion and contraction. In each cycle, physical realms dissolve, and beings are reborn in subtler realms, such as the Apasara realm, where existence is less dominated by material forms. When the universe expands again, karmic forces shape material forms, bringing beings back to physical existence. This process is not merely a physical progression, but a spiritual and karmic phenomenon. Karma serves as a shaping force, determining the forms and realms of existence for individuals and the entire universe. Unlike random chance or the will of a creator deity, these changes result from the accumulation of actions, thoughts, and intentions over countless lifetimes. The cyclical expansion and contraction of the universe resonate remarkably with modern scientific theories like the Big Bang and Big Crunch. In both perspectives, the universe has no fixed beginning or end, but is in a constant state of transformation governed by natural laws or karmic forces. However, Buddhism transcends purely material interpretations by emphasizing the intimate connection between consciousness and the universe, highlighting that reality cannot be fully understood solely within the boundaries of the physical. The vastness of world systems, ancient perspectives on the multiverse. Buddhism does not confine itself to describing a single universe, but extends to the concept of a multiverse, as depicted in the Brahmajala Sutta and other texts. The Buddhist system of countless world systems includes realms governed by their own unique laws, yet all are subject to the principles of impermanence, interdependence, and karmic interplay. These world systems are not isolated but interact with one another, reflecting the profound interconnectedness of all things. This concept raises a critical question: can we truly understand our reality without acknowledging its relationship to other realities? This idea parallels modern multiverse theories, which propose the existence of countless parallel universes, each with distinct physical characteristics. The understanding of a multiverse does not aim to expand scientific knowledge, but to emphasize humility in the face of the vastness of reality. In such a system, humans are no longer the center of the cosmos, but merely a small part of an endless chain of causes and effects. This perspective fosters non-attachment, compassion, and a clearer awareness of the interdependence between all phenomena. The significance of Buddhist cosmology. Buddhist cosmology is not merely a description of reality but serves as a profound spiritual guide. By understanding time as beginningless, the universe as cyclical, and reality as multidimensional, Buddhism liberates individuals from the constraints of speculative thinking, directing them toward a deeper understanding of impermanence and interdependence. These perspectives also offer practical value for modern life. By recognizing that everything exists within cycles of change, we can abandon attachment to the temporary and focus on living with mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. The universe, from the Buddhist perspective, is not a domain to dominate or possess, but a lesson in harmony and enlightenment. Chapter 2: The Evolution of Human Form. The first beings, from luminosity to materiality. According to the Sutta, the first beings in the universe were luminous entities created from the mind, sustained by pure joy. These beings did not possess distinct physical forms, but existed in a subtle, ethereal state, transcending material needs and limitations. They embodied purity and harmony with their surroundings. However, a process of degeneration began as curiosity and craving arose. The emergence of earthly essence, a rich and appealing substance, stimulated their desire for consumption. This craving not only weakened their subtle nature, but also caused them to lose their luminosity, marking the transition from a spiritual state to a material one. This degeneration highlights a central teaching of Buddhism: craving is a primary cause of suffering and decline. The act of consuming the earthly essence symbolizes the beginning of attachment and differentiation. The beings began to perceive distinctions between themselves and others, laying the foundation for the emergence of ego. This moment marked the origin of diversity in forms, characteristics, and behaviors, traits that later contributed to the complexities of human society. Material and environmental transformations, adaptation and evolution. As the beings lost their self-luminosity and delved deeper into material existence, physical features began to develop. According to the Sutta, this transformation was not merely a physical process, but also an adaptation to changing environmental conditions. Features such as gender and the ability to reproduce emerged, marking a significant milestone in human evolution. These adaptations allowed beings to sustain their existence across generations, but also deepened their attachment to the material world. The appearance of vegetation and grains in the environment played a crucial role in driving these changes. Previously, the beings had not depended on specific food sources, but as plants and grains became essential for survival, the concept of ownership arose. The accumulation and protection of resources became a priority, leading to competition and conflict. This dynamic laid the groundwork for the development of social structures where ideas of ownership, power, and social order began to take shape. These changes also highlight the interconnected relationship between the environment and human beings. In Buddhist philosophy, transformation is not merely the result of external influences, but also reflects karmic forces accumulated over many lifetimes. In other words, the environment and human form do not exist independently, but interact and depend on one another. This emphasizes the principle of paticca-samuppada, dependent origination, which teaches that nothing exists in isolation but arises from conditions and causes. Symbolic meaning of evolution. The transition from luminous, subtle beings to material forms is not just a narrative about origins, but carries profound symbolic meaning. It underscores the journey from spiritual purity to attachment to the material world, a journey that every sentient being must face. The consumption of earthly essence can be understood as the loss of the original state due to craving, curiosity, and attachment. This aligns with the Buddha's teachings on the Four Noble Truths. where craving, tanha, is identified as the root cause of suffering. The development of gender and reproductive capabilities represents not only a step in biological evolution but also a deepened connection to karmic forces. Reproduction signifies the continuation of karma, as new beings inherit the karmic consequences of their predecessors. This process highlights that life is not merely a physical phenomenon but a continuation of causes and effects from the past. The interplay between materiality and consciousness. Buddhism does not view the evolution of human form as a purely material process. Instead, it is a continuous interaction between matter and consciousness. As beings degenerate from their subtle state, their consciousness plays a pivotal role in shaping their material forms. This underscores that transformation is driven not only by external factors but also by the inner workings of the mind. This has practical implications for modern understanding. The transformation of the environment and human form serves as a reminder of the reciprocal relationship between humans and nature. Acts driven by craving and attachment affect not only individuals but also the broader community and ecosystem. Lessons from evolution. The evolution of human form described in the Agana Sutta is not merely a story of origin but a profound reminder of the dangers of craving and attachment. It encourages a deeper awareness of the impermanent and interdependent nature of all phenomena. This process of evolution is not only a physical journey but also a spiritual one, reminding us of the value of mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom in living harmoniously with the environment and within ourselves. Chapter 3: The Development of Human Society. Early communities, foundations of cooperation and conflict. In the early stages of community formation, beings began to gather into groups to share resources and protect one another. This cooperation arose not only from the need for survival but also from an instinctual sense of community. These early communities marked a transition from solitary living to collective models, where connection and collaboration were essential for maintaining existence. Language, initially consisting of intuitive gestures, gradually developed into structured forms of communication. This allowed individuals to exchange information, build complex relationships, and work toward shared goals. However, the depletion of natural abundance, a consequence of greed and uncontrolled exploitation, led to conflicts within these communities. This marked the rise of greed, tanha, and competition, causing divisions and disagreements among members. The development of early communities also reflects a key aspect of Buddhist teachings. When beings are driven by greed and delusion, their actions lead to conflict and suffering. Thus, while cooperation brought significant benefits, without being guided by mindfulness and compassion, it was easily undermined by negative forces. The emergence of social structures, systems, and power. The development of the concept of personal ownership was a turning point in the history of human communities. As resources became scarce, controlling and owning property became a pressing need. This led to divisions within communities, where power and social roles began to take shape. The necessity of a mechanism to manage resources and maintain order prompted the rise of leadership. Figures such as Mahasamita, chosen by consensus, became the first symbols of organized governance. Their authority lay not only in maintaining stability but also in representing the interests of the community. However, the emergence of hierarchical systems also introduced inequality, as power and resources were not distributed evenly. From a Buddhist perspective, social stratification is not inherently problematic but is a result of karmic forces. Those who accumulate merit through virtuous actions are more likely to assume leadership roles. However, if driven by greed, hatred, and delusion, such leaders can erode harmony within the community. Thus, organized governance must be built on principles of compassion and fairness to avoid perpetuating cycles of suffering. Moral evolution, balancing material and spiritual development. Material progress did not occur in isolation but always paralleled the development of ethics and spirituality. As beings became aware of the negative consequences of greed, hatred, and delusion, such as conflict, disharmony, and suffering, they began to seek higher values to guide their actions. Teachings on generosity, compassion, and mindfulness were introduced to encourage harmony and cohesion within communities. In this context, the Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path served as a guiding principle to overcome conflict and suffering within society. Elements such as right view, right intention, and right speech provided a foundation for truthful communication and understanding, while right action and right livelihood shaped a harmonious and ethical society. Notably, moral evolution is not just an individual process but a collective one. When individuals practice mindfulness and compassion, these values spread throughout the community, creating a strong foundation for cooperation and sustainable growth. The formation of human communities in Buddhist thought is not merely a historical process, but also a profound symbol of confronting internal and societal conflicts. These transformations highlight that sustainable development requires a balance between material needs and moral values, between ownership and responsibility, and between power and compassion. Chapter 4: Scientific Parallels in Buddhist Cosmology. Cosmic cycles, expansion, contraction, and the nature of impermanence. The Buddhist concept of cosmic cycles, endless expansions and contractions of the universe, offers a striking parallel to modern scientific theories such as the Big Bang and Big Crunch. These cycles are described in Buddhist cosmology as part of the natural rhythm of creation and dissolution, where universes arise, exist for a time, and eventually collapse, only to repeat the process infinitely. This perspective aligns with the principle of impermanence, anicca, a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. Unlike a linear understanding of the universe with a definitive beginning and end, cosmic cycles emphasize that existence is in constant flux, governed by natural laws rather than divine intervention. The interplay of karmic forces, karma, further influences these cycles, suggesting that moral and ethical actions reverberate across time and space. By integrating the idea of karma, Buddhist cosmology introduces a dimension absent in purely physical models, the role of consciousness and intentionality in shaping the universe. This underscores a fundamental interconnectedness between the physical and the metaphysical, a concept increasingly resonant with emerging ideas in quantum mechanics and cosmology. Diverse world systems, the multiverse, and interdependent realities. The Buddhist depiction of countless world systems, as described in the Brahmajala Sutta, mirrors the modern scientific concept of a multiverse. In Buddhist teachings, these innumerable worlds exist simultaneously, each governed by its unique conditions yet interconnected through karmic and natural laws. This vision of a vast and varied cosmos reflects an understanding of reality as layered and interdependent. The idea of multiple world systems emphasizes impermanence and interdependence across scales of existence. These worlds are not isolated, rather, they influence and interact with one another through karmic forces. This view challenges anthropocentric models by situating humanity as one small component of a vast and intricate cosmic network. In scientific terms, the multiverse hypothesis suggests that our universe may be one of countless others, each with distinct physical properties and laws. While the multiverse remains speculative in science, its resonance with Buddhist cosmology highlights the universality of certain human contemplations about the cosmos. Evolutionary processes integrating mind, matter, and karma. Buddhist teachings on the gradual adaptation of beings, as described in the Agana Sutta, parallel the principles of biological evolution. According to these teachings, early beings were luminous and ethereal, gradually transitioning into physical forms as environmental conditions changed and craving emerged. This transformation reflects an evolutionary process driven by adaptation to external stimuli. However, Buddhist cosmology extends beyond physical adaptation to incorporate the roles of consciousness and karma. Unlike biological evolution, which focuses on genetic changes and survival mechanisms, Buddhist teachings emphasize the dynamic interplay between mind and matter. Beings evolve not only in response to their environment, but also based on their intentional actions and accumulated karmic results. This perspective highlights a dual evolution, the physical progression of forms and the spiritual journey of consciousness. It suggests that while material conditions influence beings, their mental states and ethical choices actively shape their experience of reality. This holistic view aligns with growing scientific interest in the relationship between mind and matter, as seen in studies on neuroplasticity and the impact of consciousness on physical health. Synthesis of science and spirituality. Buddhist cosmology offers profound parallels to modern scientific understandings of the universe while extending these ideas with ethical and spiritual dimensions. The cyclical nature of the universe, the existence of diverse world systems, and the interplay between adaptation and karma illustrate a nuanced and interconnected vision of reality. By integrating physical and metaphysical principles, Buddhist cosmology provides a framework for exploring the mysteries of existence that resonates across time and disciplines. Chapter 5: Human Existence in a Buddhist Context. Human life, a rare and precious opportunity. Buddhism emphasizes that being born as a human is an extraordinarily rare and precious opportunity. The metaphor in the Chagala Sutta describes a blind turtle surfacing from a vast ocean and coincidentally encountering a floating ring, illustrating the immense difficulty and rarity of being reborn into human life. This metaphor not only evokes gratitude for one's current existence, but also serves as a call to make the most of this opportunity by pursuing spiritual growth and seeking liberation. Human life is unique because humans possess deep awareness, self-reflection, and the ability to practice moral and spiritual values. In the context of samsara, the cycle of rebirth, beings may be reborn into realms where the capacity for spiritual practice is severely limited. Thus, Buddhism highlights that human existence is a special chance to transcend suffering, benefiting not only oneself but also others. However, this preciousness comes with great responsibility. Instead of squandering life on temporary desires, humans are encouraged to focus on enduring values such as compassion, wisdom, and mindfulness. Recognizing the unique position of human life within the cycle of rebirth inspires individuals to live meaningful lives with the ultimate goal of liberation. The purpose of understanding origins. The Buddha taught that understanding origins is not about satisfying curiosity or engaging in metaphysical speculation. Instead, teachings about origins aimed to help individuals comprehend the nature of reality, thereby reducing suffering and achieving liberation. Reflecting on origins reminds us that all phenomena are governed by impermanence, anicca, and dependent origination, paticca samuppada. Understanding that everything is interconnected and lacks an inherent self fosters ethical living and diminishes attachment to material possessions and selfish thoughts. This realization benefits not only the individual but also promotes compassion and responsibility toward the environment and community. Moreover, this understanding liberates individuals from anxieties about their existence and its eventual end. Rather than dwelling on unproductive speculation, Buddhism encourages people to focus on the present moment and act with awareness. This approach leads to inner freedom and lasting peace. The relationship between origins and destiny. Buddhism emphasizes the strong connection between origins and destiny through the concept of karma. One's current existence is the result of past actions and thoughts, while also serving as the foundation for shaping the future. The Dhammapada states, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought." This highlights the creative power of every thought and action in shaping the trajectory of one's life. This perspective not only offers hope but also empowers individuals. It encourages mindful actions and positive transformation through the practice of mindfulness, wisdom, and compassion. By understanding that destiny is not fixed but a result of conditions and causes, individuals are motivated to actively transform their karma and work toward a better future. At the same time, this relationship underscores that the cycle of rebirth and samsara is not unchangeable. Humans have the capacity to transcend this cycle through spiritual practice and attain liberation, nirvana. This ultimate goal serves not only personal liberation but also the harmony and well-being of all sentient beings. These teachings illuminate the special position of humans in Buddhist cosmology. Recognizing the rare opportunity of human existence and the responsibility to shape one's future are essential steps toward spiritual transformation and liberation from suffering. Practical wisdom for modern life. Buddhist teachings on human origins are not mere cosmological musings. They offer profound ethical and spiritual lessons, emphasizing mindfulness, compassion, and the pursuit of liberation. By understanding our interconnectedness with the cosmos, we can cultivate gratitude, live ethically, and align our actions with principles that lead to lasting peace and wisdom. This exploration invites viewers to reflect on their own existence, inspiring transformative action and a deeper connection to the universe's cycles. Together, let us embrace this rare human opportunity for growth and liberation.